And I drink wine while we do it.
Oh, well, there's how we start the podcast. Welcome. We are not in the closet, but this is in the closet. And we are going to go live. Actually, we're going live on the TikTok again.
We did this once before last week, and it was really fun, and we listened back to it, and it actually turned out really well. But then, on the flip side, we tried it again the next night with me going live on my TikTok and Jeff going live on his, and it did not work. It was too chaotic, so we ended up deleting that podcast. But tonight, I think it's going to go well, so we're just going to go with it. Thank you for everybody on TikTok that's joining in. Feel free to shout out, say what you want, ask questions. Do you have a ham radio license? I don't think that's...
Sure.
We have what we need. Thank you, though. Welcome.
No.
Welcome.
Welcome to the party.
So it's been a long weekend. It's been a very busy weekend. We've had lots of people over. We watched the UFC fights last night and did a podcast with some friends. It was a late night, and to top all of that off, we lost an hour of sleep.
You may have lost an hour of sleep as well.
Do most people?
I don't know.
I don't either. But I feel it. Why do I feel it? And it's just an hour, like you said. Like, it's just an hour. Why do I feel...
an hour.
But I think some of it's because we stayed up late last night.
We were up really late.
Watching the fights that I'm really not interested in.
We were up really late. We were podcasting during the fights with a couple of friends. Really good podcast. Go listen to it. The people I'm talking to on the podcast, but also the people on TikTok. It's about mental health.
Right. It was more of our serious ones. A lot of times our podcasts are not serious at all. We're actually really goofy and funny, and we try to have fun. But that one last night got really serious. So this is a different setup, too. On our podcast right now, if you're watching on TikTok, this is weird. Because normally we're sitting across the table from each other.
I should have had the GoPro up, too.
But what we felt like it would just look better if we were dead on and side by side, but this is really weird. I don't think that I like it.
You don't like it?
Because you know when you go to like a restaurant and you see a couple having dinner and they're like at a booth or even a table and there's only two of them and they're sitting side by side eating, that's what I feel like right now. Like, to me, that's odd. Maybe you do that. Let me know.
We've never done that.
We always sit across from each other.
We did this for viewing, like, pleasure. Like, so we could see... So we could get in the screen a little easier. But I think we're all right the other way, too. It doesn't
I don't
matter.
know. I think that I'm probably going to have to go back.
If you're more comfortable being further away from me...
I just feel like I'm right here in your face. And, like, if I want to see you, I've got to, like, you know what I mean? It's, like, weird. It's really strange to me. But anyway.
It's different.
But I do find it really interesting when people sit side by side at a restaurant when there's just two people.
It is different. I think it's old school.
No, some of them are not older. Some of them are younger than us.
Isn't that uncomfortable, though?
Like, I feel like it would be if you're sitting here and you're trying to eat, and I'm like moving your elbows.
Yeah, especially if one's right-handed and one's left-handed.
Well, you'd have to work that crap out.
Well, no, wait. If you sit on the right sides, it'd be fine. Really.
That's what I'm saying. You'd have to work that out. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's just been a crazy long weekend, and I feel like it's not fair that it's almost over.
It's not fair.
Right.
It's not fair.
It's not fair because the weekend is almost over. And I feel like I didn't get to, you know what I mean? I worked yesterday. It just seems like it's gone. But next weekend we're going out of town. Unless they cancel it. What if they cancel it because of the coronavirus? I will be so mad.
Well, actually, no. I don't think they will.
They're canceling stuff like crazy because
they are. We're on alert for the conference in Orlando.
Oh no!
Yeah, they put that out there. If it gets bad down that way, they'll cancel that.
No.
Yeah.
The one chance I get to go to Orlando in April and have some quality time to myself because you're going to be at a conference and not be able to entertain me might get canceled.
Well, I don't know if it's a might. It's just that they have it. They put it out there that they're watching it and monitoring it so that, you know, if it gets bad enough, there's a possibility they can cancel it.
Oh no. Hey, Florida boy. What is up with you? welcome to our podcast. If they canceled it, I'm seriously going to be upset. And I may go anyway. Why couldn't we go anyway?
I don't know.
What country do you live in? We are in the United States.
He's 9.
I know. I see that.
Okay.
He's 9. You probably
What
should
country
know.
are you in?
Right. And 9 might not be. We might need to put an 18 and older thing
can you
on
do that?
this. I don't know. Somebody on TikTok, tell me, because I've seen live streams on TikTok and it says 18 plus. Is there something that you do to? I mean, is it just saying you better be 18, or is there actually like I don't? How are you going to restrict people? You don't put your age in TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I guess you just put it up there. I don't know. Anyway, let me know. But anyway, back to Florida.
Well, they just put it in the title, right?
Right.
When you started this and you put in whatever.
Right, but I mean that doesn't mean just because you say 18
No, but at
plus,
least you've said it.
But it's
You
almost
disclose
like
it.
I know you disclose it, but it's almost like inviting them in. Like, ooh, let's go see what they're doing because you can only be 18 in there. Whatever.
Yeah, but if you hold your kids accountable and you're the parent and you see that and you say it says 18 plus and why were you in there?
Yeah. Well,
Instead
that's
of
true.
hey, why don't you guys make sure kids know that it's
Yeah.
18 plus?
Yeah. I mean, I love that you're here, but I just would feel better. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I know
Like
what you're
I make
saying.
my son leave, and he's almost 12, just because you never know. So, you may want to.
You may want to exit the program.
What did I want to talk about? I needed to circle back and talk about something because a few podcasts ago, I mean, probably like maybe 5 podcasts ago at this point, I was gearing up, and this sounds so stupid, but I was gearing up to go get my first ever professional massage. I know that's crazy. I'm 44 years old. You would think that I'd had plenty of professional massages before. Now, Jeff has massaged me, and they feel fine, and they're great.
Not professional.
But not, professional massage. And I was kind of nervous about it because I don't really, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't really like people that I don't know or I'm not comfortable with. I don't want them rubbing on me, right? And I know it's not like that. I know it's like a clinical type thing or but for me, it just makes me feel uncomfortable. Like I can't let go, right? So I was so nervous. I was so nervous. Hi, how are you? I was so nervous about going in there. And it's odd because you're like, have anxiety to go get a massage. It's like counterproductive to me. So I'd said I would go to get the massage and I would circle back around and let you guys know how the experience was for me. Well, first of all, I go into the waiting room and it's my daughter works there. She bought it for me for my birthday. I feel like my breath stinks and you're so close to me. And like, you're looking at me like we should have never sat this close.
No, I'm looking at you because I'm interested in what you're saying. Your breath doesn't stink.
Anyway, so I go into and she makes me fill out this form on an iPad because we don't fill out forms on paper anymore. Now we use an iPad.
I like that.
So I'm filling out these forms and it's like basically like what body parts do you want to focus on? And for me, I have knots in my backs from where I do weightlifting and everything like that. So I basically was like back, legs, and I said okay to the glutes. But then they said, what's one area where you do not want touched? And I said my feet, because basically I don't have great feet and I don't want anybody looking at them. And dear Lord, I don't want anybody touching them. So anything from the ankles up, we were pretty good with. Just don't touch my feet. So I go into the room and it smells good. The lady that's giving me my massage is making me feel comfortable. I get prepared with the clothes and everything, and I lay down on the bed and it's like warm. It's like this like ever so slightly heated bed, like not too hot, but like it's like ooh, you know what I mean? And you lay down, you put your face in the donut, which was very uncomfortable for me. And she comes in and she's like gently like just rubbing my back a little bit. I'm like, okay, all right, here we go. This is good. And then she goes, okay, let's get started. And she said, I'm going to start from the bottom and go up. And I'm thinking, okay, she's going to start my calves because I said no feet. And she took my foot out of the cover and she started rubbing on my feet. And I'm like, dear Lord, no, lady, you don't want to do this. Do you have gloves on? You don't want to be in this area right now. But it felt so good.
Oh God!
After I
your feet rubbed.
After I let go of my inhibitions of she's actually touching my feet, it was okay. So anyway, she works up the legs or whatever. And she kept saying to me, you're going to have to relax. If you could just relax and release and just let go, it'll make my job a lot easier. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. And like that, but that made me tense up even more. Right? It's like when, you know what I'm saying? It's like when somebody says, don't blink, you're like, I'm like, well, crap, now I got to blink. That's kind of how it was. And she kept saying it over and over again. Just relax. You're making my job hard. You know, I just couldn't help it. And then by the end of the massage, which went really quick, it was an hour massage. And I felt like I was only in there for like 20 minutes. I'm like, surely it's not over.
Goes quick, man. It's great.
But by the end of the massage, she said, you know, you're kind of in bad shape and you probably need a 90-minute massage every other week. And she was like, you're going to have to find someone you're comfortable with that you can let go with.
She broke up with you.
She broke up with me because she said, it makes our job a lot harder when you're so tense. And she said to me, she goes, you are one of the most guarded people I've ever worked on. Yeah, that's what she said. I feel like I had that TikTok I did today. That's what she said. What do you think about that? She was very nice, but basically she was like, bitch, don't come back to me because you don't know how to relax. And she's probably right. I even had a glass of wine before I went, like a 9-ounce glass of wine. It's crazy. Anyway, that's my massage story. Will I go again? Absolutely, I'll go
I think
again.
the more you go, the less. I think you'll let loose a little bit more.
Well, and I think she's right too. I think if you find somebody that you're comfortable with and you go to them all the time, you probably could work into a relationship where you're totally relaxed.
Sure.
Absolutely. Anybody joining us on TikTok, do you have any input on massages? Any at all? And welcome to
someone on here
In the Closet podcast. I'm just ranting, or not ranting, but I'm just updating you.
Miss Poverty Strikes. You are trying to sell your new book.
Oh.
What's the book?
Yeah,
you
wrote a book?
Tell
us about it.
Tell us a little bit about your book.
Yeah. Why is Ben in yellow?
I don't know.
Maybe
he joined and maybe you follow him. I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know the color code.
So anyway, that's my update on my massage. I never got around to updating you guys on it. So that is that. And I did enjoy it.
I haven't had a massage in a long time. I'm ready for one.
You need one too.
I would love to have one.
My book is called Poor... I can't read that. Why? Starla? Look at us. Starla. Okay.
Poor Starla.
Is it a fiction? Is it a novel? I mean, what's it about? What else was I going to talk about on this podcast today other than my massage story? I will say this, as spa services go, when you're talking about nails, pedicure, facials, massages, Jeff, stop.
I'm totally good.
I do think that I like my nails done the best. I don't know why. Isn't that weird? It's because I do it the most, probably.
I would like a pedicure. I've never had a pedicure.
We should go get a couple's pedicure.
Let's do a date and get a pedicure. I'm down. I would love to do that.
She says it's a fiction mystery crime book. Ooh, Jeff would like that.
People are into crime.
I'm not a reader.
I'm into crime.
You're into crime?
No, I'm into like listening to crime podcasts.
What is that crime podcast you listen to?
Me?
Mm-hmm. You and Michael listen to... You were listening to it the other
what's
day.
it called? I have to look it up. You did put me on the spot. I have a few of them in there. But what was I going to say? I was going to ask where you can where people can buy it. You get on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles,
and iTunes.
So you can get it on
Google
Amazon.
Play and eBooks. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll have to save that and go back and check it out. But
I mean, we have a good amount of people that download our podcast across the country, so I hope it helps.
Yeah,
I hope it gets out there and you get some people to purchase this book, because I know that you had to put a lot into it. It's a lot to write a freaking book, I'm sure.
I can't even imagine writing a book. What are you doing to my screen?
I was trying.
Jeff is more of a reader than I am, so I probably wouldn't. What are you doing to my screen?
I'm trying to follow Miss Poverty.
I'm not much of a reader. I am more of a watcher. I like to watch things. And we were just talking about this the other day.
I like to listen.
I like to listen, and but I prefer, look at me yelling at you, and I can't even do it either.
Go down on the words.
But I prefer to, I can't do it. I prefer to watch more than anything. This is another reason why I don't like this hat. I prefer to watch instead of read. You know what I mean? You're a reader. You read books. You read multiple books at one time.
Listen. No, I always
said you
No,
read
I do.
them.
I have 2 books I'm physically, well, really just 1 book I'm physically reading right now. And then a couple of books I'm listening to depending on my mood.
Right. And we just talked about this the other day. Would you not rather, if it's something on social media or something on, would you not rather watch something rather than read? If there's text there, I'm going to scroll through. Right? But if there's a video that I can click play on, I'm definitely probably going to watch that. And not if it's too long, though. That's the thing. And that's the thing with our podcast. We like to keep it in about 30 minutes because I feel like anything longer than that, people just kind of get disinterested with. That's just my opinion.
It depends.
I mean, I think it depends too. You can listen in segments when you're doing.
I listen to long form podcasts.
Right. Anyone want to guess what Joe? I just gave it away. What Jeff's favorite podcast is? Joe Rogan.
I do like it.
He loves him some
good podcast.
Joe Rogan. Hey, how are you? Anyway, what do you got?
What do you mean? What do you
have to talk about?
What do I have to talk about?
Yeah. You were on a sports radio talk show today. I'll let you do that one.
Yes, my good friend Michael Shawls, who was on the podcast with his wife Melissa. It's their anniversary today.
Happy anniversary, guys.
They were on the podcast last week with us as guests, and he occasionally asks me to fill in as a guest on a local sports radio show, which I'd never done radio. This one has. She's got a degree in broadcast, and she actually was a host of a radio show years ago and ran a radio station. So I got some tips. Mm-hmm. So I just go and I kind of stay in my lane and add some I don't know.
Which is probably good because here's the thing. I have to always remind him before he goes to these actual talk shows on, radio. What you have to follow FCC guidelines. I'm like, it's not a podcast, okay? You can't just say anything. And the people who listen to the podcast already know, the TikTokers might not. Jeff can get extremely inappropriate. So
it's just stuff comes in my head.
Right. So you can't do that really on radio for the most part. So
yes.
But he does really well. You did a really good job.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. That's nice.
You sound good over the radio. You're knowledgeable about sports, so it works. You can tell it's not forced. You know what I mean?
No, and that's why I tried to kind of, when they got into, because it's International Women's Appreciation Day. I don't know if that's right, but that's the gist of it. Right. So we appreciate all you ladies out there that are doing what you're doing. Most of you. I don't know if I appreciate all of you because I don't know everybody, but I appreciate most of you. And so we did a lot of women's sports stuff to kick off the show.
Which Jeff really doesn't know much
Women's soccer.
about.
I don't watch soccer even if they're... I don't watch any soccer.
Where are you from? Soccer.
I don't watch any soccer. I don't watch any soccer at all. So I don't watch any soccer.
Right.
So it's kind of something I just stayed back. Now, what I did do is I read up a little bit on the West Virginia Conference college girls teams because their tournament's going on right now. So I read up on that, and I think I added some good conversation.
I don't know that I was listening then. I think that's when I was doing laundry.
So I think I added some good back and forth a little bit there. But once it got to the NBA, once it got to WVU basketball, once it got to the Big 12 tournament, and then we got into some other things, I was good to flow.
Yeah. And we live in West Virginia, by the way.
Yes.
So that's kind of that. Mrs. Poverty Strike says she's been on a few podcasts. Well, maybe you could be on our podcast sometime. That would be fun. We like to have
That's
guests
cool.
a lot.
That's cool.
So, yeah. So, he was on the radio this morning, and it was fun. It's fun to listen to you. Nate listened to you for a while.
Did he?
Yeah, it was good.
It's a lot of fun to do a show like that.
Right.
There were 4 of us on it, so it's a lot of people conversing, so you kind of just have to jump in and take over. But I'm well trained at that because this one doesn't stop talking.
I'm a talker. I feel like I am. I really am. I don't know when to shut up.
That's why I looked shell-shocked when she goes, so what do you have to say?
Oh,
What do you got
stop.
going
You
on?
talk.
I was like, oh, what?
Don't let him act like
I get to talk?
Oh my gosh. No, I don't like sitting this close to you at all. Oh my gosh, no. Anyway,
Does my breast stink that bad?
No, it's not that. It's just that I don't like this. I feel like I'm all up in your space.
It's kind of nice. That's cool, from Ohio, so you're right next to us. We're Buckeye fans. Football.
Mm-hmm. We really are.
Went to college in Ohio.
Yes, we did.
We did. Mount Vernon.
Anyway, moving on. I started talking about how we're going out of town this weekend, and then I lost train of thought because I was like, what if they cancel this event we're going to because of the coronavirus? I think, in my opinion, hi, Sid, you're back. I know you've witnessed it. Sid's with us a lot, and you already know I like to talk, Sid. But I'm worried.
Sid.
I'm worried that they're going to cancel it, and I think that they're going overboard with all this. I realize I'm not dismissing the fact that it can be a dangerous virus to have. If you have a compromised immune system, why are you putting your arm around me?
Because I'm just going to comfort you right now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Okay.
Does this make you uncomfortable?
No, I mean, kind of, because
are you uncomfortable?
I'm a little bit. I mean, this is a little bit weird.
This is weird, people.
But
I'm trying to make her uncomfortable. I was gonna deliver you some comforting news.
What?
They can cancel it. It's just another night in Louisville for us. Nobody has to know.
We're going anyway?
Nobody has to know that it's canceled.
That's so great.
Who has to know it? Now you're hoping it gets canceled.
Here's the thing, because here's what we're doing. Let me just
Nobody
explain.
has to know that we're
explain.
announcing it on the podcast, but my people, they don't care.
Somebody said your wife's hot. Thank you. I appreciate that. But listen, here's the thing. Friday night,
She
we're
is
going
hot.
to French Lick, Indiana. Crazy, right? To the casino because his company has an awards ceremony in which he has to accept some awards. Everybody clap for Jeff. He's getting an awards.
And to set the record straight, I am just a representative. Well, I'm accepting an award for the great work that our clients do and our agents do at selling the products.
Nobody cares about that. We just know
So
that
it's
you're
not
getting an
me.
award. Whatever. So we do this awards ceremony, and then they take us to the casino of French Lick, Indiana, in which last year I shared my story, what happened there. I'm not going to share it again. Maybe I'll share it again sometime, but not now. So then that's only one night. So then we have all day Saturday because, you know, when you go out of town, you have kids and there's people taking care of your kids. You're going to take advantage of the entire weekend, not just one night. Who would do that? So then on our way back home, we stop through Louisville, Kentucky, and we stay there for a night. And that's where the fun happens.
It is. We stayed the first year we did this. It's turning into tradition. We stayed at the coolest hotel.
What was that hotel
it
called in Louisville? But was it where The Great Gatsby was filmed?
It was.
Is that right?
Was it where it was filmed or where it was actually the guy that wrote it?
Where he wrote it. That's what it was. Where he wrote it.
The basement is like this crazy clay cave. I don't know how to explain it. But you could probably Google The Great Gatsby, Louisville, Kentucky, and see.
It's an amazing hotel.
Really cool hotel. They may have filmed some of it there.
It is where he wrote it. We went to the bar where he actually started writing it, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
Louisville is a fun city.
It really is, and we're bourbon people.
And I'm from Kentucky, not Louisville. I'm from Covington, like Cincinnati area or whatever. But so if it gets canceled, if French Lick gets canceled,
it's
no,
not
the
no
award
matter
ceremony-
what, it is not getting canceled.
I understand that. I get the code. I get it. I understand. But I'm just making sure we're on the same page because I don't want Friday to come up and you be like, no, I what are you talking about? Because I'll come back to all these TikTokers. I'm like, did he not say?
I'm not going to miss a chance to get my hot wife in a hotel room for 2 nights away from all these kids. I'm not.
Okay.
Does anybody blame me?
So we're definitely going out of town this weekend. French Licks / Louisville. Here we come again. We go to this cool bar in Louisville. What is it called?
You're in Nashville? Is that what it says?
Play poker at Horseshoe. Jeff
I
plays
love
poker. I can't.
I haven't
either.
played
I
in a
don't
long
play
time.
poker.
I used to play a lot.
I wouldn't even know what to do.
I love poker.
What is
and
that?
I love Nashville. I have relatives that live there. I usually meet up with my brothers. 2 of my brothers went to college in Nashville. If you are in Nashville, I'm assuming that's it. They went to Trevecca in Nashville. Love Nashville.
Mrs. Poverty _ strikes. Come back, message me. We'll talk about maybe getting you on the podcast to talk about your book. Okay, just send me a direct message on TikTok.
Yeah,
we haven't been to Nashville in a long time.
we do phone interviews all the time on our podcast to get with interesting folks.
I want to go to Nashville when it's warm. I've been to Nashville twice. Both times were cold as all get out. Cold. And so I didn't want to go bar hopping or go from place to place. I basically wanted to get out of the car, get inside, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to post up for the rest of the night because it's too cold. I want to go when it's warm, when I can go from bar to bar to, you know what I mean? Because there's that row or whatever. Nashville, did you get
on Broadway?
I just now thought, were you affected by the tornadoes? Because I know am I right? Because some of the bars I think were affected by that. Hopefully you weren't. I will come in the summer. Maybe you can go bar hopping with us. That'd be fun. Why not?
We like to make
show
friends.
us around. But I do love Nashville. But back to Louisville. What is that bar we go to where it's kind of like the dueling pianos kind of, and the crowd interacts and we can request songs and oh good, I'm glad you weren't. What is that bar called? Shoot.
It was awesome. I know what you're talking about. I know where it is. I know what it looks like.
They have multiple ones in different towns. It's not just a Louisville bar.
Right.
It's like a chain. I can't remember what it's called. That's going to drive me crazy. Sid said he wants to go to New Orleans. Yes, I want to go there.
We'll meet you there.
We'll meet you there. I want to go to New Orleans too. That's another place I definitely want to go. I think it would be great. I think I probably would only want to go once, maybe. I don't know. I want to go to Las Vegas as well. I know people say, oh, it's over. But I need to go one time. Jeff's been, he promised me he would take me to Las Vegas one day. He promised me this a long time ago, and I still haven't been.
It's one of the ways she stays with me because it's still out there that I'm going to take her. And I'm just afraid if I take her, then after we get back, she'll leave me.
Yes.
So I'm holding out.
Oh, he lived in Vegas for 10 years. Oh, wow. I can't imagine living in Las Vegas. Sid says he'll meet us. Okay, so last night Sid was in on the story of what happened in French Lick. Basically, I'll just tell you the short version so that'll make sense. I had a lot of fun in French Lick, Indiana last year, and it resulted in me having too much to drink and having to be taken back to my room in a wheelchair by hotel staff. Done. Not happening again. That's what he means. Mardi Gras, he'll bring the wheelchair.
The shots hit.
Anyway,
that's all I'm gonna say.
I can't imagine living in Las Vegas. I think that would be a city that would be too overwhelming for me to actually live in. But maybe I'm wrong because I've never been because he hasn't taken me. But you did.
I can play. I would love to play poker.
You did promise me a New York trip, and you made good on that. And not only did you take me to New York.
Thank you for giving me credit.
I am. Not only did he take me to New York, but we stayed in one of the most fanciest hotels I've ever stayed in my entire life. It's Lotte. I don't even know how to say it, but it was gold. It was like gold.
Fantastic. And what was filmed there?
Oh, we are so bad at facts.
Gilmore Girls?
No. Shoot. It was one of those type of shows.
It was one of those WB shows, or is that
like the kids liked, not Gilmore Girls.
But there's like a ballroom where they shot these
Google
major scenes and all this stuff, and she got. You see how we are. People who've been here, like we make friends with everybody. So when we go to New York or we go to freaking Kentucky, we're going to talk to everybody we come in contact with. We're going to talk to the bellboys. We're going to talk to the wait staff. We're going to find the same people, and we're going to talk to them every day if we're there multiple days. Well, of course, she buddies up with the bellman that takes to our room. I guess it's called a bellman. And so every time we go in and out of the hotel, we're cutting up with this guy. So he goes, hey, It was when I was checking out.
Well, there was a billing issue because his company, whatever, and it was taking forever. And so I went to talk to my bellboy, and he asked if I wanted a private tour that he would take me on, that not many people get to go on, and he'll show me spots where they filmed a lot of this show that a lot of people don't get to see. And of course, and I wasn't scared. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this guy's hitting on me, because he was like 70 years
I was
old.
getting ready to clarify that, because I know people are like, oh yeah, you guys flirted around the whole time, and then he wanted to go take you for a private tour while your husband's tied up.
No.
Nah, he was.
That's a good scene though.
This is not a porn.
Oh. But he was like.
But it is a good.
He was like 70 something, right? He was a sweet old man, and I went with him, and he gave me a tour. We went to these dining rooms and all these, like, it was amazing. And I was like sending pictures of it to my girls because they watched this show that I can't think of. What are some shows back in mid 2000? I don't know. But anyway, can you Google it?
I think I can do this.
It's going to drive me crazy. And I was sending them pictures of all these rooms, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's what season whatever, that's where this happened. And they were all jealous because their mom was getting a private tour of this hotel that this show was filmed in. If it was Gilmore Girls, I'm going to be so mad. It was
Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl.
Gossip
You knew
Girl.
Girl was in it. Gossip Girl was filmed there. So not only did he take me to New York, but we got to stay in a really, really nice hotel. The only problem with it was that it was also across the street from what cathedral?
Gorgeous. I don't know, because I don't remember
Saint-
key things. Well, it's a
We are
Catholic
bad.
church. It's Saint something.
Well, I
for
know.
sure.
I just wanted to get 1 point right on the test. Okay, give it to me. Anyway, it was beautiful. And
Oh, it was amazing.
the one thing you need to know, the guys and gals that listen to the podcast, you already know this, but maybe you don't. Maybe you missed this episode. One of my biggest fears that I have, aside from frogs, are nuns. So our hotel was literally across the street from a Catholic church that we had to walk by. No matter which way you go, you had to walk by this Catholic church. And I was in a nun sandwich, and it freaked me the freak out. Because they came out the door, and they were in front of us, and then we were in the middle, and then some walked out the door behind us, and so they were in front of me, and they were behind me, and I was freaking out, and I was like, my claws were going into Jeff because I was super nervous. I mean, legit. I mean, it's funny. Like, you can laugh, but it like literally is a fear. Like, if you're afraid of spiders or like snakes, that's what I am with nuns.
She has a nun phobia.
I have a nun phobia, and I was so nervous. Like, I thought for sure I was going to die. You going to die. You dig? That's what I thought. I was going to die. I did. I thought I was going to die. I didn't die. But then I did see, for the first time ever, never seen one. I was by myself because he had to go to work meetings. So I had to walk around like Manhattan by myself, and I had to walk by this cathedral. And I did see a cute little, I don't want to use the wrong term. What do you call them? I mean, I don't know if I don't know politically correct term for
Little people.
a little person. None.
Really? That's right. I forgot about that.
I did. I tried to get a picture, but I thought if she saw me, she might kill me. So I didn't get a good picture, but she was actually kind of cute. The only nun I've ever said that about. So that's my story.
What's funny about this one is we go to New York City, and I don't know how many women would do this or how many men, but I have to go to a big dinner, and it's a business dinner with several people from all over the country. And so I had to go to dinner. So I was like, hey, I'll come back and get you after dinner. Maybe we'll go find a local little pub or bar or something just to say we got out tonight. And I go to the dinner. I'll probably get done around 9 o'clock or so. She's been walking around freaking Manhattan, like Times Square, and she just leaves the hotel in the dark, walking down street. She's at a bar when I get out. She's like, oh, I'm over at this bar on whatever street. Then you can come over and meet me. And
Well, I was trying to get the lay
are
of
you
the
trying
land.
to get murdered?
Well, here's the thing. We all have to die at some point. And I'm thinking, I'm in New York. I mean, there's worse ways. I mean, at least I would leave a cool story. Like, I was shot or murdered in New York.
Yeah, I took your mom to New York, and she decided to wander the streets while I'm in a dinner.
It's a better story than, choking on a mothball. I mean, a malted milk ball.
Oh, that was
Like
that's
I almost
a good
did.
story.
Jeff saved my life, by the way, once.
Saved her life. She forgets that for sometimes.
Well, here's that story. We were in college, and we went to a college. It was a Christian college, so there was guy dorms and girl dorms, but they'd have open dorm night where the guys could come in for a few hours. Ooh, crazy.
Doors open, and RAs were hovering.
Right. So well, I was coincidentally an RA. Well, anyway, it was Easter time. I love Easter candy. I loved Easter candy when I used to eat it. I don't eat that anymore. But anyway, and I love malted milk balls. I just called them mothballs a second ago.
You did.
Correction. I don't, in fact, eat mothballs. They were malted milk balls. You know what I'm talking about? The ones that are shaped like an egg for Easter. They're rather large.
They know.
They might not know.
They know.
They might not know.
Now you know. Yeah.
Okay. So I put one in my mouth, and at the same time, I guess I took a breath, and it went right into my throat, and it was lodged right in my throat. Just the perfect size to shut off my airway. And it wasn't the point. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm choking, I'm coughing, let me gag this up. No.
Nothing was coming out.
I was not.
I'm talking turning blue.
Could not breathe. So I'm panicking, and I'm like hitting him like this and getting his attention, and my roommate's there, and like she's calling like, I don't know who she called, 911, I guess, whatever. And he grabs me and starts doing the Heimlich. Well, in my mind, I was still conscious. In my mind, I'm thinking, I'm going to die because he's not doing this right. And I wanted to coach him. Like,
I don't know how to do it. I just knew you grab him from behind and you start pulling. And I was in my head, I was like...
Sex. That's not the Heimlich maneuver.
Well, I wasn't doing much of either. So... in my head, I was still formulating like my lines for how my fiance died for the ladies. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's funny.
You know you can get lots of ladies if your fiance died, right? So, and then I'm like, that conflict's going on.
Well, but I'm in my mind thinking he's not doing it right. I'm seriously going to die. I don't want to go this way. I'd much rather go getting shot or stabbed or kidnapped in New York by myself, wandering the streets of Manhattan. Right? So, but finally, I don't know, he did something, like I moved, he did something, and it got the malted milk ball. That's the weirdest, whatever. It got it up enough where I could actually start getting some air in.
She was gasping.
And then the paramedics came, and they're like, there's really nothing we can do at this point. If she's getting air down, you're either going to have to puke it up or swallow it down. So I went to the bathroom and took care of business, and I'm still alive. So thank you for saving my life.
You're welcome.
But you might want to brush up on your
The form
skills.
wasn't perfect. The form was not perfect.
But you got the job done.
But I do remember, in all seriousness, being under extreme panic. Like, I didn't know. All I knew was like, you've got to freaking do something. So I was just pulling and grabbing, like trying to get whatever.
What you were doing wrong is your hand placement was wrong. It's supposed to be like right here, and you weren't pushing hard enough. You were afraid of hurting me. Like if you do the Heimlich right, sometimes you might break something in there. That's how hard. That's like you have to really put pressure.
That's it. Don't. I was worried. You killed your fiance because you were worried about hurting her.
Right. Hey, Louisiana boy 337 says, "How are you doing tonight?"
We're doing good.
We are doing good. I haven't been to Louisiana.
Hey, you want to go ahead and end the podcast? It's at 40 minutes in, and go over there with the live and keep it going.
We can end the podcast and we can keep live going. Hey, there's your girl, Tanya. Hey, Tanya, how are you?
What up, Tanya?
We're getting ready to end this podcast, but we're going to stay live for a little bit and tell some more stories, goof off, whatever. So the podcast is done.
Yeah, I need to get me a beverage.
Right.
What does that mean?
What does what mean?
The times one. Somebody just popped up there and did something nice.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, it is.
Hey, Tony.
All right, so podcasters, peace out.
All right,
Till
guys.
next time.
We'll be back soon. Have a good evening.